It also provides some kill threat throughout the laning stage as well. The issue with mag is that you're very slow. Like, kind of, you want the Echo Saber blink, and before you get that, you don't really show up to any fights, which is kind of my issue right now. So mag can kind of get run over if he doesn't get these items. So if Dai can kind of play like a faster lineup potentially, like Lifestealer can start infiltrating the lanes and pressuring out the towers. We're gonna Pango, okay. I mean, the lucky shot, that's great. Another disarm coming through. It's not kind of the armor we're speaking about, but it's more, it's a great hero, gains some physical damage with the disarm. And also, I wonder how they play the I mean, I have to imagine it's probably going to be a Pango safe lane. And they do have, what, RP Bash to go through any BKBs, so Magic Immunity.
10 seconds remaining.
It's hard to get the RP on the Rolling Thunder, though, because if you blink on top of him, it's just going to stun you up. They'll probably ban... I mean, you don't want to anti-mage this game. Troll's gone. Who's it? How does Terrorblade feel? Enchantress doesn't provide any kill threat. The Pango's a little annoying to deal with the illusions. I like the DK ban. We brought up the armor that I think it's nice. I still don't think they need catch, but I'm trying to think of what melee hero King can go for. PA could be decent. PA actually could be pretty nice with the Coddle. I think they... Ooh.
10 seconds remaining.
They could also go for some magic damage, but even then, it's against a Lifestealer. You kind of want physical.
5 seconds remaining.
So I think I'm fine with them committing for like another very heavy physical damage. They ban the Void, okay. Void ban? I guess just a magic immune lockdown. They don't have a lot of damage outside Chrono, which is always worrisome, but it's a very interesting Void ban. I think this hero has to come online relatively around the Lifestealer timing and be very tanky to kind of survive the ultis, because when Keen don't have ultis, they don't win fights, I think. If they don't connect on RP or Will-O-Wisp, then they're in a really bad spot. So if they can survive these combos, it's going to be important. The issue is DK's gone, and I mean, you can conquer here if you want. Does it fit? I mean, I guess they can still, what, Pango 2, Earthshaker 3 and put and pick up a support. Even Enchantress can play like a different role as well. I don't think they'll do that. I think it is the Earthshaker 4. I mean, we haven't seen that hero be played as a core, but they do at least have some flexibility. But they got to be careful. Like this pick, you know, we could honestly see like a Puck coming through. It's very nice to kind of control the StarLadder mag. They don't have the greatest catch right now, like no instant stuns. I guess the Earth Spirit, if you get the silence, but it's a pretty good Puck game, and also just allowing kind of the Wombo to come through. I'm just trying to think of some playmaking heroes and someone you can roam with. Not well, at least help the lanes early. Void Spirit's still there as well. I don't know. Deska didn't have the greatest performance last game with the Void Spirit, so maybe they're going to feel kind of opposed to picking this one up. It's a difficult thing because it's a blind... I guess you do see your mag, but, you know, mag can probably go safe lane still. So you got to make sure it's a decent matchup in case they do just get countered and put the mag safe lane, which is always an issue when you don't have the last pick coming through.
Keen Gaming's turn to pick.
They do. They do. We brought it up earlier with the Earthshaker. This is very greedy. We brought it up earlier. They might just OD now, but... I think that's rough. I think you I don't this is tough now. If you OD, you force the mag safe lane. You could probably go for like, the issue is because the mag's a core and you're not going to give him power to your, you kind of play very greedy and not really play around your cores to give them the empower. So they could Slark. The lucky shot's annoying. Slark is really good against the Morphling because of single target orientation. They can still PL2. They're gonna okay, so they do put the mag side lane. They're gonna go for the Shadow Flame mid. It is a very greedy draft from Dire, and the fact that So the Shadow Fiend gives them mixed damage as well and a lot more minus armor. So I was thinking about the I was thinking about the Gyro earlier just because of how physical orientated they were already with the StarLadder mag, because Gyro is very split damage, and they kind of go at least in that route, but it's also a decent matchup versus Morphling. But how does he side mag up against Xiaoyu? Xiaoyu's got a good Pango as well. I'm gonna add that one out there. But I mean, okay, so the Dire, their timing is level 18 on Morphling. So my issue is right now is that it's kind of both teams don't have too fast paced. I think Keen might be a little better with the Earth Spirit StarLadder. StarLadder might go for like 2 points in Bash and go a couple more points in Guardian Sprint just so he can make a little bit more plays. I think that, like I said, Mag kind of wants Blink Echo Saber till he can start making movements across the map and showing up to fights, and Shadow Fiend probably like Yasha BKB maybe. I need to look at Dire's heroes again if he wants a BKB second item. You kind of want it around the Morphling kind of timing with the Earthshaker. But right now, I think that Dire might come online a little bit too slow. Because Lifestealer kind of... The Lifestealer doesn't have as much damage in the early game with the change to the Feast, but you scale a lot better into the late game. So right now, the thing I'm worried about is that X has to get like a Maelstrom Halberd. Halberd's incredible this game. I mean, it's just naturally super strong in the Lifestealer anyway, but you might actually have to show up to a little bit more fights once he has Maelstrom, which is kind of you want to try and flash farm until you get that Halberd, but the issue is you have to make space for the Morphling now. You know, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be really rough. Because this hero, I mean, at least he's mid, so he's gonna get solo experience, which is nice. Because you know, Morphling, they might just get pressured out, man. I think they're gonna lack some damage. Like Xiaoyu's probably gonna have to play the game of his life.
30 seconds to battle.
I'm trying to the Ags Morphling. Man, it's a thing you live by. If you get it, it's the probability of you winning goes up. But if you don't get it, man, and if you don't get it at a good timing, at least you can just kind of draft all around it and not have anything to work with. So I mean, this is a win condition now. The Morphling timing with the Earthshaker, if they're able to get it at a decent time before Radiant really get the items. The issue is, of course, you can't rush the items because you need the level 18. You know, with the morph duration from the 15 talent and the morph maxed out, so you have this full uptime. So let's see how much priority they actually give Deska. I mean, what's the damage output? So he's 62 base, 44. He's got 2 mangoes, so I mean, I'm almost certain he goes Razors. I don't think I've seen a Shadow Fiend not go Razors unless they're with a Clockwork. Well, this is it. Both teams, one opportunity to at least continue through these minor qualifiers. Let's see what both teams have some very good roaming heroes. You know, the Earth Spirit along with the Earthshaker. See what little bit of emphasis they can have. There's a lot of kill potential as well. You already see the Enchantress. They can get some body blocks, and SRF is going to be able to get first blood. Even without the bash, really nicely played. That setup crush into the roll. This is a good start. I mean, Mian blocked the camp, I guess, just for the pull through. And I'm kind of surprised because their lane's already pushing out. I'm surprised he blocked it and didn't pull the way back. Interesting. That's a good start. Good start for the boys Zoro and King Gaming, considering this top lane is going to be really good, and they've got a lane where they can. We tried to get the secure. I mean, they did at least not get denied, which is the main thing. But Yim's going on a bit of a mission right now. It looks like. Gonna make sure Xiaoyu is pushing the wave in. We can stack up the next wave as well, so Yim should get there. Should. All right, there you go. It's nice. So naturally the wave's going to push in, so they should get this creep equilibrium back. They haven't blocked the small camp. They have a hard camp to work around with the pull as well. So it looks like instead, Yim, is he going to go for a triple? No, he's just going to TP out. So, I mean, you already see Destiny. Probably could have, looks like he's going to stack the Ancients. I'm surprised he actually didn't prioritize stacking the small camp, because by the time he stacked it and this creep wave came to, he might have had a double stack here to be able to deal with the wave pushing in. But I mean, now Xiao Yu's going to get a lot of experience here, so they've done a great job at kind of enabling the pain go. But SRF with the bash. Enchantress slowed up, does at least have the level 2 for the enchant, and they might be able to turn actually. I mean, X doesn't have too much damage early. No Orb of Venom as well to start off with against 2 melee heroes is an interesting choice about it. I mean, the fact that Lifesteal has so much attack speed and movement speed now with the change, I mean, you can constantly just be able to get the right clicks through and harass really easily with the orb slow, just staying on top of them. So I'm kind of surprised in that regard. But so Desko's got to make sure he doesn't kind of play around on the low HP. Of course, if you get double, triple raised, it makes it a little worrisome. He's just gonna waveform commit here. So even then, the good thing you're a ranged hero, so it makes it very difficult for Yi to actually stack up the raises. Of course, against the melee, they're naturally going to be on the creep wave, so it makes it a lot easier. But I love the ward positioning right now from both teams. I mean, very defensive. Even though Radiant do scout up the Earthshaker, force a TP instead. So just got to always make sure. Sometimes you question, like, why is he not backing off early, considering they would have seen him from a mile away. But if he backs off early, then Earthshaker just knows there's a ward in the area, easily would be able to de-ward it. He might still have an understanding that with how defensive, and this is a very common ward. I mean, a lot of the time when you have a position 4 that's going to roam, you try and get a ward on the high ground here. And of course, I mean, it's a dire offlane. Oh, sorry, it's a dire position 4 as well. So if it was a Radiant position 4, then their ward would be up here. Although sometimes I've seen a ward like here because it scouts out this little river up spot and also the high ground as well. So it's always interesting, just different placing of wards to be able to help out with any rotations from the 4s. But we haven't seen too much emphasis on Mian kind of playing around mid. He's constantly blocking this up as well. So lane's very much on their favor right now for Dire. But once again, they're going to get aggressive on the Enchantress here. There's only still 1 point in the bash here, so will the damage be enough? SRF trying to man fight here. It's like even then, I mean, it's very difficult to man fight into a lifestealer who has Javelin and 2 points in Feast, but wait, 5? What the? How did he? Oh, I guess they had the. Oh my lord, that's a lot of nuke. I guess that's why he had 5. I'm surprised he didn't kill him. I guess even with 2 points in the attribute shift, that's interesting. Oh, dude, I was like, how does he have 5 phrases? I mean, just reveals his ward on the high ground. I think he's fine with doing that because it's only got 30 seconds, but might be able to. Oh, he doesn't have a Tango though. Well, he's still got the attack range. I keep forgetting about this. The fact that he right-clicked when he was kind of in fog, or naturally if they didn't have a ward there, but again, top the aggression with the bash coming through. SRF now level 4, so that extra damage will be enough. Mian's going to try and TP, will be successful at it, so no Javelin procs at the last second. So another kill for King Gaming at this top side. A lot of emphasis coming through. You see bot though, so we haven't put too much emphasis here. Xiao Yu's having quite the time, man. 30-3 compared to the 28-3. Farming up really, really nicely. And he's solo as well. The issue is that Yim's not getting anything across the map. I mean, just hits level 2 now. Of course, the Earthshaker 2 is not very important. I mean, once you get the Aftershock, then it's nice because you have the double stun. But Xiao Yu is, yeah, he's having quite the game. And we spoke about that. I think that Xiao Yu really has to try and make a lot of emphasis and at least a lot of plays across the map. And they also do have the fissure to kind of play around with the Rolling Thunder, like bouncing off it and back onto one of the heroes. So Kama's got to be careful. He has also skilled up the RP. Sometimes we see the mag going for a second point in the shockwave. Looks like he didn't get that stack on the Ancients as well. They've got a stack around the medium camp, one around the hard camp as well, but it will probably, that'll be the Shadow Fiends stacks to take. So chuck out the RP here. So heavy commitment just for the Earthshaker, but I guess at least they're putting the RP on cooldown, so it'll net them a kill. It's very similar to what we see as soon as the Void gets the level 6 in the Chronosphere. You kind of just want to try and use that Chrono as soon as possible to try and secure a little bit of gold and experience, but it does at least put it on cooldown now. SRF Enchant, so just going to be able to dispel off the sprint here, so won't be able to close the distance on top of the Enchantress here. So really nicely played. And now Yim's going to rotate forward as well. We'll have roll up in a couple of seconds. These Javelin procs are doing a lot of damage right now, and very nice positioning from the Earthshaker is going to be able to stop any disengage coming through, but they're going to try and set up for the raise potentially. I mean, okay, never mind. Destiny's just going to show. Oh, Yim. Alright, well, that was faster than I could react. I got a reaction, but not enough words. You can't play around low HP with 4 points up in raises. That's what's gonna happen, and now they do get the stun still. Stick charges might be enough to keep Enchantress alive, along with that Infest, a little bit of bonus health. So he's trying to make it to the backline, but they will have the Orb of Venom slow. Now X is going to be careful as well. So, I mean, 5 kills right now from King Gaming. We spoke about the previous 2 games. They've been able to win all of the laning stages, having very good advantages going in. And now they have 2 heroes that are going to flash farm the jungle to oblivion. So this will give some very nice solo experience and a little bit of gold to any supports that want to take the lanes. And looks like they're finally just going to give up bot. The Coddle is a very good hero to be able to just kind of soak up experience. Oh, you're in a bit of a spot here, aren't you? Might be able to TP out before Xiao Yu is able to get the Rolling Thunder. Just kind of wants to hold on to this as long as possible. But oh, goes the wrong way here. Xiao Yu's going to be... Oh, it's funny as just ring around the Rosie who can survive in the trees long enough, but we'll find him. Alright, so Elliott's second kill finally, but Shadow Fiend caught out on the wrong side of the fissure now, so it looks like he will get brought down. Gonna try and put whatever damage he can, but in the meantime, they do find X, so SRF with the level 6 coming through, just a little bit of amplification, 3 points in the bash as well. They're gonna try and take the tower though, so Deska's having a decent time, you know. Actually, I see that far out. He's not lasting well, never mind. I mean, I saw level 7, I'm like, oh, he's doing okay actually, but oh, this is a little rough.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nice Hadouken. But he's got the Morbid Mask now, so he's just going to be able to go from lane to jungle. Be full agi and not really have to worry about the sustain now with that being able to come through. But at least they do get you know, a couple of kills. 3 now for Dire, considering the 6 on Keen. But the good thing about Deska not having the greatest lane is that Radiant can't really pressure him. We brought up that Mag really wants this Blink Echo Saber timing. Looks like Kemma's going to come down bot with the RP, just try and take the lane. Kind of surprised he's not going top and pushing out the tower, because you have this threat of the RP now, and even whoever gets the first tower, you have a big advantage, because now if the enemy team try and... Naturally, the first tower you want is the enemy's safe lane, just because you can try and control their... Oh god, I gotta always remember that. When you're in the lobby as a spectator, for some reason the lines are very different if you're like in a game or not. Let's see if I do it fast. Oh wait, what? That was oh, I mean, it was a little not the greatest circle. We're getting sidetracked. That doesn't matter. But I think they have a much bigger kind of ulti timing to be able to pressure out this tower and force the lifesteal out of the lane. But the good thing is that X, I mean, he's got the Maelstrom now already, so even if he does get forced out, he'll just go bot and try and trade both safe lane towers. But yeah, the tower, if whatever team gets the first tower, you can either then respond to the enemy team's aggression on your safe lane tower, or you can just say, frick it, we're going to go mid and take their tier 1 instead. A lot of times you don't have enough damage to be able to pressure that tier 2, of course, that little bit of bonus armor, and just of course how deep it is as well, and then the health is too much for them to handle. But it's kind of just I mean, 9 kills 10 minutes in, slightly a static game considering. Looks like both teams pretty content with just getting whatever farm they can. X fine. What is Shadowfin going as well? He's gonna go the ooh. The Mask of Man is interesting. Him gonna try. Oh, he does make it to the low ground. Nice kick from Miam, but Fissure might be able to provide a little bit of space. Shadowfiend does have the movement speed coming through from the Faded Brooch, but it's not really going to be able to close the distance. I guess the Blinding Light's not going to help out too much either. But the Mask of Madness, is interesting choice here. Well, they pulled the Catapult Wave. That's actually really nice. Probably could have been able to take the tower, or at least pressure it a little bit more. Yim's doing a good job getting us whatever experience he can. He's closing in on the level 6, unfortunately. It looks like both the supports actually for Dire aren't the greatest level right now, but they're going to force a hero. Xiao Yu treads Vlad's. Starting to see this a lot more on the offlane Pangos. I've started seeing this on KP when they were having their run through the Southeast Asia qualifiers, and now it looks like Xiao Yu, very similar build as well. The treads, Vlad's, I believe this is into the Soul Ring as well, that we see pretty frequently. Well, now on the Pango, but just the spam out that you have with the Swashbuckle is really nice because he does get the mana regen as well, which is interesting. I think the Soul Ring, you don't need the mana regen. He's actually going to go Greaves with the Ring of Regen. Also, the fact that a lot of the tier 1 neutral items now are very orientated. Silence roll. They'll need the RP and drop everything onto the Morphling, and it will be enough, but it's a heavy commitment. They do get a big kill though, because that's the win condition for Dire. Ryu's going to show up, but can't really make anything happen, so let's see if they can get something out of this kill. You know, T1 tower mid still is very low. And in the meantime as well, he's just getting some pressure onto this bottom side here. So he's actually going to go Mask of Madness into the BKB. He went the Spell Amp. Wait, what? Why do you go Spell Amp if you go Mask of Madness? And if you're going for this right click build, why don't you go attack? Okay. I mean, surely the attack speed from the Mask of Madness, you still kind of want that 20. What's the gloves again? 20, so it is 20. So it's actually only 400 gold, I guess. Okay, interesting. But again, they're just going to try and put pressure on Deska. I mean, he does get the Strength Morph out in the meantime, but the fact that they're just showing he can't come up and farm, and he's actually going to go for a shotgun build first item. Sometimes we see the Morphling go for like Linken's into Ags, Manta into Ags, but Xiaoyu, he's committed for the Swashbuckle here. If we can get the ultimate off, it looks like the stuns from Radiant will make this a little bit difficult now. Yim's going to rotate forward. They only have 2 heroes on Dire. Now they're kind of stuck next to the tower. Looks like there are some rotations. Deska along with the Enchantress here, roll forward. Life still has the Rage. They're going to think about turning it. Nice Fissure holds 2 of them back now. Spirit's committed for the roll, so he's got to be careful, however. Dire, can they disengage? Deska's got the waveform, but SRF's going to try and catch him on the backline here. Crushes off the mark, but still with the minus armor, they're going to be able to melt through the Earthshaker, and they're not done just yet. Still have the bonus health along with the movement speed coming through. So the Infest. 415%, but nice. They get a 2-1. They get a 2 kills because Pango died, and a tower as well. So 2,000 net worth lead right now for Radiant. Going back to what I was speaking about earlier with the neutral items, a lot of T1 neutral items are very stat-orientated, and like stat-orientated mana pool or mana regen. You know, we can literally go through the whole list and say like stat, you know, we're not going to do this, but stat, regen, or maybe I might mana, stats, and even the tier 2s are relatively decent as well. So mainly the tier 1s are kind of helping out with mana pool, mana regen, stats. So a lot of time, anyone who has like a mana regen talent, you don't really go for it anymore, which I'm kind of intrigued on why he didn't go Swashbuckle range. Mag. So that's the skewer with rotations coming through. You need to control up the Pangolier before he can get the ultimate off in the meantime, but it looks like Kemen's damage thanks to the Echo Saber is going to be enough. Shockwave unfortunately off the mark, but still Miam wants to hunt for some more here. A couple of rotations now. The Echo Slam, a lot of damage now onto 2. Deska with the waveform forward, and it looks like they're going to clean up. Nicely played right before the bounty as well. Someone kind of has to take this, but there you go. Alright. SRF went drums first. Interesting. Drums into Vlad's, it looks like. Wants to find X though. And has he got the bash charges? He doesn't, so this is a difficult kill considering they don't have any vision on the high ground and no reinforcements as well to help out, but don't get me wrong though, like Swashbuckle range is not the greatest, and Pango is very reliant on mana, but you know, if you don't get those neutral items, which he doesn't even have right now, considering any of them would be pretty decent instead of none, but yeah, don't get me wrong, still the other talent is not the greatest, but you know, with the recent change, you can kind of go for that little bit of greed instead. But net worth lead still slowly increasing right now from Keen. I mean, they're giving a lot of space to the mag, and this is kind of what I mean, the hero has to be top of the net worth and kind of top level, and I imagine he would be, yeah. 14 along with the Shadow Fiend as well. They must have a massive level advantage, and they do, and I think at this time in the game, level advantage is probably a lot more important than your items right now. Item timings, you know, Blink, BKB, yes, but there's more bigger item timings as the game goes on. It's kind of level dependent around kind of the first 15, so to say. You know, you can't just pinpoint it straight down to that, but even then, I think the fact that, I mean, you take a look, man. It's 6,000 experience lead, 3,000 net worth lead as well, and just the levels on all the cores right now, the fact that they're 2 ahead really nice showing. They do flash farm incredibly fast throughout the jungle though, which I think is what's helping. But let's try and chain lock down Deska here. Doesn't get the strength morph out in the meantime. SRF needs the bash charges. He won't be able to get them. So waveform back, but they should have the movement speed to still close the distance here with the Guardian Sprint maxed out. Nice wave. Oh, Earthroot just the tip connects with the roll. Dire still thinking about taking the fight though. They'll rotate in numbers. They don't have the Earthshaker, and especially without the Echo up, doesn't really want to kind of join here. Xiaoyu, Rolling Thunder. They're right near the stairs, so Xiaoyu can bounce back and forth right now. Doesn't cancel. Oh, roll at the last second will get cancelled here, but now the RP came up with a blink reveal. Will-O-Wisp going to get dropped as well. They'll have the cleave. They're trying to with the Enchantress first. Now the Life Steal is going to be the next target as well. The Rage won't be able to protect him through the bash. World. Another really good fight for Keen. They could Roche now. I mean, they have, what, level, yeah, second point in Corrosive Haze. Almost maxed out the presence as well. Presence of the Dark Lord. That, yeah, they're going to shred through Roche. I mean, what a life that would be to live and respawn constantly through the ages of Dota and see the ups and downs of teams to be the thing that wins games and loses games. I like that Deska's not going for the E-Blade first as well. I think the Manta's nice against the Silence and the Corrosive Haze. I'm just very worried that he's not farming at all. Like, I mean, he's behind the StarLadder, and StarLadder doesn't flash farm. I mean, the hero's 4-0-5, and this hero very much relies on kind of just getting kills after kills and having a very good lane dominating performance. And the fact that Dire draft around the Morphling is very worrisome. The Morph Earthshaker combo, and now it's getting to the stage where Radiant with this Aegis, they can just group up. I mean, Shadowfiend has a BKB now. They didn't go for the presence affecting buildings, but I don't think that's going to matter considering Dire don't have the greatest way to defend the towers. Like, no wave clear from afar, nothing like the Coddle. So it's going to make it very difficult for them to actually do anything about this. And I mean, RP is going to be up in 30 seconds as well. So let's try and take the tier 2 tower mid. The side lanes are getting pushed out reasonably well, but I mean, even then. So Earthshaker does have a blink now too. But look at the vision from Radiant, really wanting to try and control the jungle. Make it super difficult for the Morphling to get farm. And if they can kind of... I think you're fine with taking all these outer towers and not going higher ground with this Aegis to try and suffocate Dire inside the base. I don't think they go high ground. They might just say... They might kind of balls it, but I think it's more important to try and get all the outer towers and make it very difficult for the Morphling to get any farm. You know, Radiant, they have decent catch. You know, once StarLadder especially gets blink, it's going to get even more amplified, but I think it's more the stage where you see what Xiaoyu, what he's doing is going to try and split push as much as possible. And he still hasn't bought anything after the Vlads as well. 3,100 gold in the bank. He doesn't really know what he wants right now. If he wants the Basher impact, just kind of out Keen Gaming or not. They're going to group up. Are they smoking? No smoke here. They do have a very nice ward right before that 10-minute interval as well, before the bounties, however. King Gaming, they do have everyone in the area, so it looks like instead they're going to do a cross-map smoke and trying to head towards the top side. In with this Infest. You know, we saw game 1 with the Lifesteal and the Infest kind of bombs that they were able to have. SRF is not an easy kill. They might attempt with everyone on the backline here, but even then, instead, they're going to go mid. Radiant, they make the first move straight on top of the Painkiller. They might have to force out the RP, so Xiaoyu can't disengage, but they drop the Will-O-Wisp. The follow-up as well from the Earth Spirit stops at least the Rolling Thunder, and now Enchantress going to end up falling as well. Lifesteal straight pops out. They're going to try and deal with at least the supporting Destiny, but in the meantime, RP onto 2. They're going to have the cleave coming through. Now with the follow-up from the Fear. Oh, what a fight from Keen. Going from bad to worse right now from Dire. Keen are just way too strong, and they're going to run up Pygon. They were just trying to find the smoke initiation on top of the perfect target, and instead, Radiant, they're the ones to initiate forward. I mean, the 2-man RP. Look at the cleave go to work. Kama's just got so much damage now. I mean, they've hit their timing before Dire have, and I don't know if the Morphling's going to come online fast enough. I mean, it's not the longest death timer, but it's not going to matter. Like, they'll just shred through the buildings. They'll take the melee. They can even take the range if they really want to. And yeah, why not? Couple of hits. And they still have the Aegis for another minute 30 as well. So you already see Destiny. After that death, just straight to top lane. Lovely play from the Coddle. It's going to straight deep push this out. Radiant already have a couple of heroes grouped up in the area, a decent ward as well. I mean, it's not really higher up onto the northern side, but they're going to try and get another tier 2 out of this. So, I mean, I said that maybe Radiant might just go for all the outer towers. Instead, why not just go higher count and get a full lane of racks? And now, Avengerls should be fine. Dude, Mian's having an incredible game on the Earth Spirit. Been a part of 14 out of the 18 kills. The amount of roll finds he's able to find. I mean, just the Pango almost was able to disengage there, but catching him right before the Rolling Thunder. Kama's got to be careful. Radiant, they do have a couple of TPs available. They're going to force some heroes here. RP's on cooldown though. I have everyone in the area as well. Reversal silence coming through. Is it enough? Xiaoyu still kind of man fight here. Rolling Thunder now with the fissure to be able to bounce off back onto the wall. This could be decent, but in comes the Radiant lineup here. They're going to try and TP out Xiaoyu. Will be fine. BKB force from camera as well. Okay.
Dire's courier has been killed.
I was going to say, they could be decent with the fissure positioning and being able to bounce off the wall, but looks like Dire just really didn't want to dive. I mean, they just don't have the damage right now. He's not even going second item Ags. I'm very worried about their draft now. Like, I feel like you... Oh, this is rough. I mean, the third... What's the probability? 96% for Keen Gaming. They want to continue on. I mean, it's looking strong. It's looking good. And Deskin just might be the next target as well. It's a little bit difficult with the Guardian Sprint. As soon as you hit the water. Speed of light, so he'll make it out, but... I thought the big timing from Dire was going to be the second item Aghanims on the Morphling, and it felt like that's what they were drafting around, and now being down 12,000 gold, just the fact that Radiant just flash farmed so much faster than them with the Shadow Fiend, with the Magnus who's setting up on top already. Might be able to find Deska here with a skewer perfectly placed. We'll be able to cancel the TP, and the rest of the Radiant going to be able to close the distance. They do have Pango on the backline. Maybe if you get a lucky shot to help him out here, but the Will-O-Wisp going to get dropped as well. They'll find the Pango, a roll forward. They have the Silence Fall as well to try and hold the Pangoli in place here. Bash, Crush will be needed potentially. Xiaoyu doesn't make it out. That last little tick of damage in our Deska, but the TP still already being used. They'll find him stuck out in the trees. Keen Gaming, another 2 heroes going to be at their... at least dying by their hands. The big one in the Morphling as well, the win condition from Dire. They might use this time to try and de-ward the high ground area. So what has X actually got? I haven't even paid too much attention to the lifesteal. Maelstrom Halberd, 1900 gold in the bank, but... Uh-oh. Dude, this is such a fast movement from the guys over on Keen. You thought they were going to try and go deal with the high ground? Nah, let's just protect the vision right now. And now lifesteal is your next target as well. Roll. Not on the mark, but still, as long as they can... I mean, he doesn't have a TP available, so X just has to man fight right now, and no one being able to infest. Gonna try and run to the neutrals if he can get there in the meantime, but, I mean, they should still be able to bring down the neutral if he jumps inside of it. They'll have the movement speed, and now it's literally the only hope for X. TP's up in 25 seconds. Unfortunately, it won't be there in time. Another crush. Won't be there. This game starting to get out of hand for Dire. Of course, they don't have the ages though, so do King Gaming really want to wait around for this? I mean, 16,000 net worth lead, 1 game away from being eliminated. Are you going to push the pressure and force a higher ground push, or are you going to play it disciplined and wait for the second ages? Looks like discipline's the way to go. Just suffocate Dire inside the base. Try and get some vision at least by the lane, so if they run out, you'll scout them. I mean, this is a perfect one at that. Morphling as well, man. Kamet. Oh no. Deska. Oh no, not again. Waveform. Can he get the skewer? Oh, he stuns him! He doesn't get the strength morph off as well. Willed the last second here, but they have the RP if need be. It's just way too much damage right now, Deska. As the Guardian Sprint. Waveform as well. Where's the follow-up? Kama. Skewer's on cooldown, unfortunately, but they're trying to collapse off to the side here. Deska's got to be careful. Able to get the strength morph out. Dire gonna try and collapse and help out his fellow core now. Him, blink forward, has the Echo Slam away over the RP. BKB as well. Kemen's doing way too much damage right now. They'll find the Earthshaker. Joins him as well with the lifesteal. Morphling. They'll just drop the G's. Dire. They've got to tap out. That is it for their run in the minor qualifiers, but King Gaming. What a performance. I mean, it had to be known that when you go for the lineup that is reliant on kind of 25 minutes even just what I'm trying to say is that King Gaming literally won every early game this series, and when you draft your third lineup into something that needs to come online later on and not have a good laning stage, I think it sets you up for a loss, honestly. And it got to the stage where it's so greedy, man. Like, Life Stealer, Maelstrom Halberd's really the timing. Until then, you don't have a lot of damage. Morphling mid doesn't make plays, doesn't do anything you want to farm. It's such a greedy draft. And they kind of just fell into the trap of Morphling Earthshaker's not a free win anymore. It's just not. You can't go for it. And they fell into that trap. And, I mean, what a performance from Keen. 11-0-6 on camera, 6-1 and 2. I mean, it's not even the fact, SRF, all the cores had a good game. Everyone only died 6 times, but it's just the draft. Second draft was odd for Dyer. Third draft was odd as well. And I think Keen just really had a better understanding of how they had to play the game. Get these items. You know you're going to get them at a faster timing than Dyer do. So start to ramp up the pressure when you get them. And then suffocate Morphling, in a portion of the map where he can't get as much farm as possible. And you see they just flash farm so fast. Like, props to Mian, man. That Earth Spirit play was, whew. We don't see that hero a lot anymore, but the lane with the StarLadder, a lot of kill threat, and the catches he had through the fights, the control, a really, really good performance. And so far today, Keen have not lost with the Coddle. The 2 games against Avengerls are able to take both of them. The game earlier on as well, they're able to win that. But this is going to be it for this best of 3. So unfortunately, Avengerls, they will get knocked out of the StarLadder ImbaTV minor qualifiers. But King Gaming, they're going to move on to the lower bracket final. So still one more series they need to take before they can make it to the grand finals. So we're going to have another best of 3 tonight. It's going to be Newbie up against Asta in the upper bracket finals. Winner will move on to the grand finals. The loser is going to face King Gaming. We'll take a quick break. It might be a little bit longer between this series considering the next. We are actually a little bit... they might push it forward. I'll keep you guys updated with how long it's going to be though. But King Gaming, they're going to move on. Next series is Newbie up against Asta.